3-point 111-108 win last night over the Nuggets. Gabe Vincent led the Heat in scoring with 23. Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo each had 21. Shannon, when you break this one down, what do you think is the biggest reason Miami won?
Their resiliency, being down 15 on the road in a hostile environment. The Nuggets hadn't lost all postseason at home. They've been dominant at home. They have the best player in the series on their team, and he was playing unbelievable. But they didn't hang their heads, and they found a way to keep fighting and stayed in the ball game. Gabe Vincent was huge, 23 points on 8 of 12 shooting. He was 4 of 6 from the three-point line. But I thought Max Strus did a great job of getting them off to a great start.
After he didn't get off to a great start in game one.
He didn't get off. As a matter of fact, he didn't even get off.
No.
So with that being said, he was 0 for 10, I think 0 for 10, 0 or 9 from 3. And then he goes 4 of 7. He only scored 14 points, but those 12 big first quarter points were huge. You get Duncan Robinson, all of a sudden he turns into Ray Allen in the fourth quarter. He had 10 big points in a matter of like 3 minutes, and he started feeling himself because as they ran him off the three-point line, he started attacking the basket, something we don't normally see from Duncan Robinson, but we've seen it a little bit lately. Bam was Bam, but when you have three guys score, give you at least 20. And what the Heat did, he said, well, they let Jokic score. No, you didn't. Jokic took it upon himself to go get 40 because he saw his teammates struggling shooting the basketball, and he saw it slipping away from him. So now all of a sudden, he's not looking to pass the ball because he doesn't trust his guys. Michael Porter Jr. is going to have to give him something, Skip. KCP is going to have to give him something. And we saw the first game, and the same thing that we saw in Game 4 when they swept the Lakers. Aaron Gordon played big. Aaron Gordon didn't give you much last night. He's going to have to get... If Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon can give you at least 30, between those two, Jokic and with Jamal Murray, although Murray didn't have the greatest game, but anytime the dynamic duo can give you somewhere between 55 and 70 points, that should be good. They gave you 59 last night, although Jokic had 41. But I thought the Heat's resiliency was the main reason that they won that game because they could have easily hung their head like, okay, they're at home. They're supposed to win. We go down 0-2. We got 2 games in Miami. We can tie this thing up. But they said, no. There's plenty of time left. And they fought in there, and then they opened the fourth quarter, Skip. That fourth quarter, you won't see a better fourth quarter than what they played on the offensive end. And they did a number on the Nuggets defensively. But it was their offense because the Heat scored 36 points on 19 possessions. That's the most efficient fourth quarter of any team in any game in the last 2 seasons. They shot 69% in the fourth quarter. That's the 3rd highest field goal percentage in a fourth quarter in an NBA Finals in 25 years. Well, when you put up historic numbers like that in the fourth quarter, you're probably going to win the ball game, and they did. We got a series now.
Okay, I hear everything you just said. I'll go even harder than you went. Your man Joker scored 28 in the second half last night. He was extraordinary on the offensive end. His teammates were not extraordinary for the most part because he had only 4 assists. So we'll get deeper into this a little later in the show, but is that the magic formula? Is you just defend his teammates as hard as you can defend them and hope that they don't cash his 3-point passes or his... Remember what Aaron Gordon did? He scored 12 in the first quarter on Gabe Vincent, it seemed like, on layups and dunks. Well, they took that away last night.
They inserted Kevin Love into the starting lineup, put a big...
All right. Even more deeper into this, look at the rebounds. It's Denver 38-31. Look at points in the paint. Denver dominated. Look at second chance points. Denver dominated. Look at fast break points. Denver dominated. Denver dominated. Denver dominated. Denver is better. They were 9-point favorites last night. Now they're going down to Miami as 3-point favorites. Doesn't that remind you of last series when Boston kept being 9-point favorite at home and 3-point favorite on the road and finally lost in 7 games? All right, so big picture, if I step back from this, and I've been watching this league for a long time, I've never seen anything quite like these Miami Heat. I do love to watch them. I do love to root for them because you never know where it's going to come from on any given night. I'm going to remind everybody, they lost their leading regular season scorer in Tyler Hero in Game 1 against Milwaukee. He might play in Game 3 back in Miami, but look at them now. They're 1-1 going home without their best scorer during the regular season, a 20-point-a-game score. The truth is, Mr. Sharpe, that we haven't seen playoff Jimmy now for 7 straight playoff games. He is going through an issue with his father, who is not well at the moment. God bless him, and God bless Jimmy, because I think he might be a little distracted, if not a little drained, by going through that away from basketball situation. But the point, and I'm giving him certainly a pass for that, but look at Shannon, look at last night. He's 7 for 19. That's 37% from the floor. Is that playoff Jimmy to you? It's just not. Look at the third quarter last night. He went 0 for 5 while Joker was scoring 18 points just in the third quarter. And there was a point where I thought, okay, that's enough. I will be the first to admit that, what was it, in the second quarter, they got all the way up as 5:22 of the second quarter. They jump up 15 points. I wrote them off on Twitter because I thought, there's no way. You just got buried by a Denver Avalanche, right? How are you going to come back from 15? I was imagining you up in your palatial estate. I just figured you sat back and said, got this one.
You know what? No, actually, I don't, because I know the end of quarters are very important. And I see when they had that big lead, I said, let me see how they close out the second. And what did the Miami Heat do? They go on this run.
They got back in it. They cut it to 6.
Yes.
And then they storm out in the third quarter and cut it to none. Yes. They actually tied the game up.
Yes.
And then they fall slowly but steadily back behind to the point that they got to the end of the third quarter, and they're down 8 going to the fourth quarter. And then, lo and behold, that I would have bet against this, because this man had played 6 minutes and 48 seconds so far in the game, was a minus 20. I'm talking about Duncan Robinson, undrafted out of Michigan. He is 6 feet 7 inches tall, but he looks a little awkward sometimes, looks a little geeky, gawky, right?
Yep.
And all of a sudden, to your point, he scores 10 points. And they come in such a flurry that you're like, what just happened? If we could show our faithful viewers who might not have seen this, this is Duncan Robinson to start the fourth quarter. He just said, oh, that was sweet, up and under on Jamal, and swished it. And then he drives it and makes it. Whoa, whoa. And then,
that was the one.
That was a bomb.
That was the one.
He just said, I got this. And then he goes up and under, and watch what he does after this. He is mean-mugging the crowd. He is mean-mugging the crowd. Duncan Robinson. He did this at Boston Garden.
He hit LeBron and not one muscle flex. He's like, no. Okay.
Huh? What muscles? I don't know. But I just showed you 10 quick points.
Yes.
And they go from down 83-75 to up 88 to 85.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because it was 10-2. They outscored them 10-2.
10-2. What just happened? And the truth is, the Heat never looked back.
No.
Although, even though the Heat were up 9 with 3.5 minutes left, did you think he was going to make it?
Yeah, because I've seen him make that. In this playoff run here, we've seen him make that shot so many times, especially against the Lakers and against the Suns, Skip. We've seen him make that shot. So for him to hit that sidestep and it not go in, I was a little surprised that it didn't go in. It looked on target from
it
the
did.
angle.
I thought it was going to go down. In fact, when it was halfway there, I thought, that's it. How are we going to figure out overtime? And it lipped out. So the point is, do the Heat live and die by the 3? Well, Eric Spoelstra says there's no way. We're not built that way. But the truth is, I now look at the whole playoff run of all the teams in the playoffs. Remember, Miami was the worst three-point shooting team.
Correct.
They ranked 27th in the NBA during the regular season.
Yeah.
They now have 6 of the top 11 three-point shooting games in this whole playoff run, featuring everybody. From start to finish. 6 of the top 11 three-point shooting games were by the Miami Heat, who shot 49% last night. Well, I got to tell you, when you shoot 49% on the road, you're going to have a pretty good chance. Right?
Yeah. Because, Skip, if you look at it, look at the Nuggets. They shot 52% from the floor.
Yep.
They shot 39% from the 3. You can live with that. 86% from the free throw line, 19 of 22. As you mentioned, they had 38 rebounds to the Heat 31. But the difference is they made 6 more threes. It's hard. You can't keep overcoming that, because it's not like you're making, you got a 90 field goal attempts and you're 52% from that. You have to, if you're going to overcome threes, you're going to have to get up a boatload of 2s. And they didn't do that yesterday.
Okay. So what changed from game 1 to game 2? The Heat shot an all-time playoff low 2 free throws in game number 1, and they went 2 of 2.
Right.
2 of 2?
Right.
Well, last night they went 18 of 20, which leveled the playing field with the home team because it was on, what was 19 to 22 for the home team.
Right.
So at least it's sort of 50-50-ish, right?
But they attacked last night.
They did.
And I thought early in the third quarter or the fourth quarter, it might have been the fourth quarter, Skip, they were in the bonus with 9 minutes to go in the game. They got frustrated, got a ticky-tack foul here, and then Joker just whacks Bam upside the head. Now it's 3, and the next thing you know, you get a reach-in foul, it's 4. And the next one, you're